All right, my diecast loving brothers and sisters, what is going on? Hope you're all doing good. I have got a very special treat for you today. So, for my birthday, I got no fewer than two 1/18 scale diecast cars, brand new, that I haven't had before. And my intention was to do a series of unboxing videos with the cars, okay? Well, that proved to be, unfortunately, very problematic, especially with this car here. This one had these wire ties holding the car in place and the little plastic surround that's in the box there. And you guys would have been sitting here for 10-15 minutes watching me fumble with those things, okay? And on top of that, in the process of trying to wrangle it out of there with that crap, I ended up breaking off the very delicate hood ornament, and I was so upset. Thankfully, with my trusty super glue, a set of tweezers, and a very steady hand that I prayed to the Lord for and got it, I was able to reattach it. I let it sit for about a good 2 hours before I even tried handling it again, because I did not want to have to do that again. That's one of the hazards of some of these models. Sometimes they have delicate features on them, and it takes nothing to break them. I mean, it really does. So yeah, we're not going to do an unboxing video as I planned, but I am at least going to show the box off in the video, as you can see behind you. All right, so we say we dive into this, okay? Because this is a beautiful model, and I can't wait to show it off. All right, so what we have here is a 1/18 scale model car group replica of a 1982 Cadillac Fleetwood Brougham. And this is a just really well done model. I'm going to go ahead and bring the camera up here for you, zoom things in a bit. Now, I have a model car group Lincoln Mark V you saw in a prior video. And I was actually really pleased with that model, and I'm very pleased with this model upon its initial inspection. I'm really happy with the way it looks, the way they proportioned everything. There's only I think one boo-boo on here, which I'll show you, which ain't really that big of a deal. So anyways, Model Car Group has this car available in no fewer than 3 color choices. There's a metallic blue, there's a medium red, both metallic shades, and then you have this lovely black right here. I get it. The black one looks very mafia. Looks like something that John Gotti and his baseball bat beatdown crew would drive around in. And the fact that it's depicted with New York plates only adds to that. So here's why I didn't get the blue one. The blue one was nice. It was like a light metallic blue with a medium blue interior, but it did not have these wire wheel spoke wheel covers. It had the plain Jane boring regular hubcaps, and I thought to myself, why would they do that? Because believe it or not, you could get regular hubcaps on a standard Fleetwood, because that's what this is. This is a standard Fleetwood Brougham. This is not a Brougham d'Elegance. A Brougham d'Elegance has this tufted button interior. This one has just the nice, simple pleated seats. All right, but you could get those plain Jane wheel covers on a Fleetwood Brougham, and I just thought to myself, this doesn't look appropriate. And then the black, not the black one, the red one, the reason I declined that one was, my favorite thing to dislike about diecast cars, a boring black interior. It just did not pop. This car here, with this nice, rich, deep tan interior, this really pops against the black. Don't you agree? It just looks lovely. Let's bring this in a little closer, and I'll show you some of these interior details here, okay? By the way, my wife got me a new phone stand. It actually attaches to the edge of the table instead of being in between my legs here when I'm trying to work on showing you these cars, so it'll be a lot less fumbling. So you can see in there, it's got really nice details. I mean, they put little numerals on the instruments in there, the speedometer. You can see everything from the wiper control, the headlamp control, the little emblem there on the steering wheel. And boy, they had that steering wheel in these cars forever. They used that wheel between, I think it was 1981 all the way to 92. I remember them still using that wheel, yeah. You see the wood tone on the dash. You look inside there, you see the door panels, got that little light. All the wood tone, the door pull handles, all that good stuff. All right. And then also, you look here, got the little coach lamp. Let's take a look at the back here. You got that classic closed-in limousine-style rear window. Personally, I think it's perfect this way. All right, this right here is the perfect thickness. To me, to my eyes, it should be just a little narrower this way. That's one of the errors I noticed about, but it's not bad though. What a great effort! Look at those tail lamps. You got that New York plate. John Gotti driving around. Nice jewel style taillights. I love how they did that. I'll turn around this way here. So you see up close, I'll show you the wire spoke hubcaps with the little Cadillac wreath and crest on there. You got your Fleetwood Brougham script right here. Alright, and then that's that beautiful interior. You know, it's funny how this is considered the standard interior, and it's pretty nice and very plush. You can get it both in cloth and the cloth velour and leather. And that was also true of the Elegance interior that had the little tufted buttons. Also, the Elegance came with a couple of other extra options. All right, so this little badge right here, this is on a HT4100 digital fuel injection. Oh, gosh. Yeah, remember what a disaster that engine is? Oh, man. Yeah, kind of like really messed up with that one. Those engines were notorious for, they didn't seal very good with their head gaskets and their intake manifolds. So I did a pretty good job replacing the hood ornament. It might be slightly crooked, but you know what? I think it was slightly crooked when I got it. They did a great job with the headlights. The grille is perfectly replicated. Remember these little white insets in the rub strips? You know, those were notorious failure point on these. Even if you preserved the car very well, those were always failing. You know, it didn't matter. They just weren't, they didn't have longevity. They just really didn't. And I think they even replicated. Let's see if they did. No, it doesn't look like they did. Usually on the mirrors, they would write Cadillac script out there. But it looks like they didn't replicate that. And then these little bumps you see on top of the fenders, that's the lamp monitors. So what they would do is at nighttime, they're facing you, the driver, and they glow, indicating which headlamps are on. So if you notice one of your lamp monitors is not lighting up, that means you've got a light out, and then you can go ahead and address that. That was one of the Cadillac's many nice features. So the other error I noticed is, okay, you'll notice, see this roof right here? Okay, so on the real car, this roof has almost like a very graceful slight arc to it, okay? This one is just depicted as flat, okay? And it does give it just a ever so slight awkward appearance, but it's not bad. I mean, you have to understand, they're probably limited on what they can do with the tooling, but this is a really great effort. And you know, Model Car Group, they build a much better model than Best of Show does. Best of Show does make a Fleetwood Brougham. I've seen several versions of it, and they want ridiculous money for them, and they have the same troubles that the other one does with the windows that follow. You notice this one, see, this has got a nice metal body. These windows, they're very nice and solid. You know, they're not that really flimsy plastic stuff at all. All right, let's flip it over. I'll show you the chassis real quick, and I need to do this delicately because I don't want to bump that hood ornament. All right, so you can see it's, you know, not too bad of a detail here. You got the little stainless steel exhaust tip there. Kind of hard to see some of the details. There's that crazy pellet style convertible. And I think that was a 204R transmission, if you can believe it. But yeah. That is, you know, when people saw this car, even ones who were not car enthusiasts, they knew this was a Cadillac, okay? This was the last time that I think a Cadillac really truly looked like a Cadillac. And you know, they kept this body style all the way until 1992. I can't believe they did that. They did a couple of refreshments to it for 1990. They put this extra lower cladding on the bottom, and they gave it like a European style composite headlamp. And they gave the tail lamps kind of almost like a an even more jewel appearance, but like a clear inset that went around the red. It was actually quite sharp how they did it. And they made a couple of alterations to the dash, but it was still basically the same dash that they had since 1977. They got a lot of mileage out of that dashboard tooling. You also notice on here, there's a couple of little windshield wiper blades just tucked under the cowl there, between the hood and the windshield. That's really nice. But yeah, this was, you know, I believe that if they had just kept building this car and just, you know, upgraded the mechanicals, maybe made a few improvements to the interior, I think people would still be buying it to this day. You know, I mean, obviously it would only cater to a niche market. It would be produced in very limited numbers, and probably only very few very wealthy people could afford it. but I believe that they would have sold it, because there are a lot of people out there who miss this type of Cadillac, who just miss the car that looks like a Cadillac, you know, with the elegance, the chrome trim, and the tail fins, and just the presence that this car has. I mean, you know, I'm sorry, but if you pulled up to the country club in, like, say, a Porsche 911 back in the 80s, I would have been unimpressed. I would have been like, whoop-de-doo. But if you had pulled up in one of these, I would have been taking notice of it. I would have been like, yeah, now that's a luxury car. That is a beautiful, beautiful car. And to have this model in this size is just such a treat, because just the detail is really good. Not a particularly detailed chassis, you know, just like the Lincoln was, but just an overall really well done model. And very pleased to have it, and I know you guys are excited to see it too, because man, it's a beauty, ain't it? Well, anyways, there you go, guys. I hope you really enjoyed that. Like I said, I wanted to do an unboxing video, but it just wasn't meant to be. It was just proving to be too problematic, so I went with this instead, and that seemed to work. And anyways, hope you guys are doing good, and I just want to thank you, all my subscribers, my viewers, all of you. You're just wonderful. And stay tuned, because there's more coming. I'm going to showcase another 1/18 scale car that I got for my birthday in another video a little while down the road. But in the meantime, you guys enjoy yourselves. God bless. And we'll see you in the next video.